Joe Diomede here, Tele Montbron in the Tarn, talking with Francoise, who I've met about 2 years ago, and I interviewed her daughter, Inoa, and she was doing interesting things in the film world. And Francoise works in with social solidarity economies, and I'll let Francoise explain what that is. Good morning, Francoise.
Good morning. Okay, so I'm working with a network that is worldwide in different continent. In a different continent, it's about the promotion of social and solidarity economy. It's a concept that is quite known now, and it's about everything that all the part of economy, of the elements of economy that have a view of the planet and the people, of servicing the people and the planet, and not the benefits. So the idea is to produce, for example, in a responsible way that preserve the planet, the resources, but also the waste, for example, management. It's all about consumption that would be responsible, that would be about the exchange, the trade that would be fair, respecting the workers, for example. So this is the idea of an economy that is at the service of the people and not trying to extract benefits and money and in a capitalist way. So it has a transformative view of the economy and of the society.
And this is a worldwide. You speak five languages. You said you work in five languages. Fortunately, English is one of them. It makes my life a bit easier. So, is this a worldwide? Is it growing in the political climate at the moment? Is it meeting a lot of problems with some of our current world leaders?
Well, actually, it's well known in the alternative world, of course, but it depends. The political view of this is different in different countries, in different continents. So the people are struggling to make it more visible. The main problem we have is visibility, because there are a lot of initiatives, and actually I'm curating a network, a website. I want to say a website on all the initiatives of and the public policies and everything. So it shows how the state of the art is in different countries of the world, in the different continents. And of course, there are some, for example, in Brazil, Brazil was the main country with solidarity economy. There was even a Secretary of State of the solidarity economy that was Paul Singer. He was a wonderful person. And now with the actual government, of course, it's set up, you think, for it's a really terrible situation for the solidarity economy. In France, we have a law that was pushed by Benoît Hamon in 2014. It's quite a good law, but for the moment, what the governor is trying to do with social and solidarity economy, in my opinion, is not the right thing, because it's trying to make it more social business than solidarity, and so to take the concept and transform it in a capitalistic way. So we have to be very alert of what is happening now, but at the level of grassroots, there are a lot of initiatives all around the world, and so the idea is to connect all these initiatives. And for example, this network I'm belonging to, it's called RIPES, the network for the Intercontinental Network of Promotion of Social and Solidarity Economy, with other movement, is organizing a big meeting in 2020 in Barcelona, which is called the World Social Forum of Transformative Economies. So you have the feminist economy, for example, you have the commons, you have food sovereignty, you have social and solidarity economy, and much more to come, that are converging to try to put together their view of the world of a transformative economy that would be at the service of the people and the planet.
Wow! Service of the people and the planet is something that unfortunately many of our world leaders at the moment are not looking at, and unfortunately, although capitalism does have its good points in letting people earn money as they want, but it's gone. The unbridled capitalism has gone a bit too far. And you mentioned before off camera that in France, we had many local economies that were accepted by the former government, and Macron now, with his government, is trying to make are these trying to make local economies illegal? The local monies.
I local. No, local currencies actually have been accepted thanks to this law of 2014. So now it's accepted. No, what Macron is trying to do is trying to take the concept and transform it. For example, now instead of calling it social and solidarity economy, that has a meaning because it has a history in different countries, in Brazil, in France, in Spain, everywhere. There is movement and history behind this concept, and now he's calling it French impact. So he's trying to put it business-like and not people, grassroots, solidarity-based, value-based, as it's supposed to be. And there was a big meeting now these days. It's called Impact for Impact or something like this, with big government all around the world. So he's trying to, I don't know, you say recuperate? Do you say recuperate the concept and transform it to make it in a more capitalistic way?
He's trying to take his concept and turn it right, yeah, turn it around. And also very interesting. I thought you were saying before. I forget if it was France that had a law that was put in place. It might have been the 2014 law that if a company or a factory was going to go out of business, they had to give the workers a year and a half so they could get themselves together. Can you explain a bit more how that worked and how it works now?
Yeah. If there are a lot of examples, for example, in Argentina, where people, workers, took over took over the company because the the enterprise was finished.
Yeah, bankrupt or
Was bankrupt, exactly. And it's a difficult thing to do because you have to find the money. So usually what they do is put all their money together, try to, usually in Argentina, the boss, he went just away and leave everything behind. So they were taking the thing, and it's very difficult. So Benoît Hamon, in this law in 2014, he put it in the law that 1 year and a half before the bankruptcy, the management should tell the workers that this was going to happen, so they could organize, find the money, etc. But the MEDEF put it a veto, and now there is still a small delay that they have to say something to the workers, but it's such small that they can't organize and really find the money and try to make the. But there are some examples in France of. I don't have the name just now, but there is this ice cream and this tea elephant mark, I think the elephant mark, where the workers took and took the enterprise and make a cooperative, and so they are struggling to survive, and it's very difficult, but it's very interesting because social and solidarity economy is in a way of organizing is much about cooperatives, association. So the idea that there is not a management above the people, but the people taking their own decisions, where everybody has the same power of decision and the decision making, and also the money is divided fairly between the people.
right. So a true cooperative, and that's the point. I think you might have missed in saying the people had a year and a half to organize so they could take over and turn it into a cooperative. Right, much like back in the '60s, and when a lot of in Spain companies were going bankrupt, and the village would be wiped out. So the village people got together and bought the company, and and turned it into a cooperative, which is great. Okay, so on closing, what is your like on the ground work? So how do you make these connections, these worldwide connections? You said you build websites. Do you travel to these countries? Do you speak with do you speak with world leaders? How does it work? How does this actually work on a worldwide basis?
So my job is to curate this website. So it's called socioeco.org, and it's in 5 languages. And so there I try to put everything I found on social and solidarity economy that I can find on the web. So it might be analysis, but it might be articles. For example, I'm trying to put all the articles of the independent medias, the cooperative medias. that talk about social and solidarity economy, but also the trainings in the university all around the world. The initiative, there is a mapping with all the initiatives that are called the mapping of solutions, where you can just see the dots and see it's classified by needs. So, for example, you can see if there is fair trade, or if there is something about housing or something about food, etc. And so you can just check the map and see everything that, and try maybe to inspire and get inspired and make the same at home, for example. There are a lot of things with bicycles, for example. As you're interested in bicycles, for example, I put a few days ago, I think it was in Paris, a bicycle system that was going to fetch the compost in the restaurants, so to make a big compost and to make earth that could be recycled for the peaceful. So it's very interesting, and and I also am part of this Repace Europe, and so they try to have members from everywhere in Europe. So it's network of networks in the different countries, and so these people do things together. For example, meetings where they invite or they visit experiences of grassroots experiences, and so and they make meetings, and so afterwards they organize themselves also on the ground. So it's not about world leaders; it's more about grassroots. Leaders and networks that goes together and try to work together in projects, or trying, for example, there is a project now between Greece and some countries of Northern Europe, exchanging also products to like fair trade things, and there is a lot of project between countries at grassroots levels.
Right, the grassroots. From the ground up. This
From the
this
ground up,
movement
yes.
is
Not
working, and
from
that's not from from the top down. Yeah, I guess when I asked, did you speak to world leaders? I meant in the movement.
okay.
Not like
Yeah,
Donald
yeah,
Trump or
yeah,
Macron.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
They leading us, but I don't know where.
yeah, yeah.
Well, yeah. Oh, maybe we do know where. Well, Francoise, thank you very much. That's very interesting, and it's nice to know that there are people like you and organizations like this around the world, and people are working from the ground up to actually look at the world from a human perspective, not only a financial perspective.
Yeah. Okay, thank you very much.
Okay, Joe Diomede here with my little bandage on my arm from a wasp bite. So that's what that is. It's not anything too serious. And Joe Diomede, Telemampron from the Tarn, beautiful Francoise's house here. And we spent a lovely night, and we will see you again.